Kishore Kumar wants to know if value research can state the reason for upgrading or downgrading the rating of any mutual fund scheme.
Sure. Well, first of all, the rating is a purely quantitative measure which is based upon a fund's performance relative to its peers. And what follows from that is that by and large, the only reason for a fund to be upgraded and downgraded is its relative performance compared to other funds in the same category. So if a fund delivers superior performance relative to its peers, it stands a chance to be upgraded, while on the flip side, if a fund trails behind its peers in risk-adjusted performance, then it stands a chance to be downgraded. So much so that you might come across funds where you see that a fund has significantly outperformed the broader market, and yet it has been downgraded. Now, that is very much possible in cases where while the fund has done well, but its peers have done even better. They have beaten the market by an even wider margin. And in that case, even after beating a market handsomely, a fund might be subjected to a downgrade. And similar is possible on the flip side as well, where a fund might have comprehensively underperformed the broader market, and yet it witnesses an upgrade in the rating. And again, as I said, that the reason could be that while the fund has underperformed, its peers have performed even worse than this fund. And that is a case where despite underperforming the market, a fund may get an upgrade in the rating. Now, talking specifically about how the rating itself is calculated, for equity funds, we use time frames of 3 years and 5 years to measure their performance. So we assign what we call as a risk score to every fund, which is based upon the returns generated by a fund relative to other funds in the category. And we also assign a risk score to every fund, which is basically the risk of underperforming the risk-free rate. And for our purposes, the risk-free that we use is the rate of interest offered by the shortest tenured fixed deposits of State Bank of India. So we calculate the return score and the risk score, and we subtract the risk score from the return score to arrive at the composite score of a fund. And basis the composite score, we rank the funds in the descending order in a particular category, and assign a 5-star rating to the top 10% of the funds, a 4-star rating to the next 22.5% of the funds. The middle 35% get a 3-star rating, and likewise the next 22.5 and the bottom 10% of the funds get the 2-star and the 1-star rating. So that's the mechanics of how the ratings are calculated. And as I explained, the reason for any upgrade or a downgrade in rating is by and large linked to the relative performance of a fund vis-a-vis its peers.